Umar Saleh, Julio Enciso, David Soria. I mean, who could it be? Who could be Leeds United's first signings of the summer window? Welcome back, everybody. It's Connor here. We're back with the live streams tomorrow of the Room Mill, starting at 10 a.m. from One Leeds HQ. Shout out to all the One Leeds in the building. What is going on in your world? Let me know in the comment section below. And today I'm going to be walking about on one of these walk-alongs. I'm going to be speaking about who I think, or who could be, the first Leeds United signings of the summer transfer Premier League window. It's going to be a big one for the club. It has to be a big one for the club. We saw Crystal Palace winning the FA Cup yesterday, which was just brilliant. But we're still in a situation right now, everybody, where 10 Premier League clubs, not 8, but 10 Premier League clubs could still get European football. Now, why is that relevant, you ask? What are you on about, Connor? Well, Leeds United are obviously going to be in that Premier League next season. And if squads are going to be stretched, of which you're expecting it, you know, Crystal Palaces, Nottingham Forest, we've just got to be looking at that and thinking, okay, could we take advantage of that? Teams not just playing 38 games, but including cup competitions, can be playing up to 50, depending on how far you go in a competition. Something to keep an eye on when it comes to LUFC, and maybe if we're able to drag a couple more clubs in. As I said, still, when permutations are applied, conditions are applied, 10 clubs maybe in Europe from the English pyramid, which is staggering, really. But today I wanted to speak about 2 transfers, and the reason I wanted to speak about these 2 in particular is because I've got a feeling one is going to cause a lot of controversy, the other is very exciting for Leeds United. They're both really exciting, and I wanted to get your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. Unfortunately, with Rio Ferdinand, with Ethan Ampadu's ex-partner, there's been a lot translating when it comes to a certain club, and we're going to have to speak specifically about a player who's been linked with Leeds United this morning heavily, again from one of their top sources out in Turkey. But we're going to start on Jaka Bijol. Now, this is a name of which was on the circuit a while ago, heavily rumoured to Leeds United out of nowhere, and we've spoken about my centre-back, my Udinese pick, of which it would be very, very adventurous in Umar Saleh, but I don't think that will happen. But I've been also speaking about Jaka Bijol every now and again on the channel, and I do wonder whether or not this is the first signing where, when Serie A ends in 8 days, this is going to be one of the first ones that Leeds United get done. Udinese have a pile of players of which are very attractive in terms of quality and calibre, and I think they're going to get picked off a lot this season, a lot of young talent, and Jaka Bijol is one of those. A centre-back, someone whose aerial presence is unquestioned, someone whose passing ability out from the back at such a young age is easily transferable to the Premier League, somebody who's confident, braggadocious, silky, just a very, very, very tasty centre-back of someone who would, I believe, be definitely a Premier League signing for multiple Premier League clubs. And if Leeds have got in there early, once again, that's Jaka Bijol, everybody, Jakabijol. If we've got in there early and the signature is already done, and you guys will say, Connor, where have you heard this? I've not specifically heard it anywhere. We've heard rumours here, there and everywhere when it comes to we've heard a couple of rumours coming from the Italian side, a couple of rumours on the mill when it comes to the Leeds United side as well. And you're just wondering, because this was the first name really, and it was a bit of a random name. And I did see it and I thought, well, that's is that a powder puff link? But it feels like it fits Leeds United perfectly. You know, he can play on either side of that centre-back partnership. He'd definitely be able to fill in for an injured Pascal Struijk. He'd definitely be able to transition to the Premier League, and there's an argument that he'd be already a top 10 Premier League defender, or a top 10 Premier League defender, as in being signed by a top 10 club, if that makes sense. Sorry guys, I've not had my morning coffee yet. So yeah, really exciting. Could he be the first one in? I think it is going to be a centre-back. I think Leeds' first signing is going to be a centre-back or a goalkeeper. That's my personal opinion. I think a striker takes a lot longer when it comes to negotiation. I think, look, Leeds won't want to lose the likes of Willian Gnonto. They won't want to lose the likes of Pascal Struijk, Matteo Joseph. But is that going to happen with PSR? Something's going to have to happen. And I expect one of those, or 2 of those at least, are going to be leaving Leeds United. So yeah, and that's the lovely constraints that we work within in the Premier League, and the obviously fair Premier League system that we're going up into. But the other name that we've been linked to, so Bijol does 100% bridge the gap. He's not a name of someone who I am completely sold on, but maybe that in terms of sold on, he's unbelievable, obviously. But I think what I mean there is, obviously, Umar Saleh was definitely my pick, but Bijol, my goodness, watch a few clips of him, you know, listen to a few Udinese fans, and obviously his national country, of which he was excellent in the Euros and got them there as well, single-handedly. You'd listen to them and you think, my goodness. So maybe my standards with Umar Saleh are maybe a little bit unrealistic with the likes of Inter Milan looking at him. So yeah, we'll move on there. But the next name, everybody, is Gabriel Sara. Now, I wanted to speak on Gabriel Sara because a huge Turkish publication have said that, you know, Man City were interested in him. It's gone a little bit quiet, and now it's Leeds United. And we know last year it was Sara, it was Rowe who we were interested in. Rowe obviously went to the continent. Gabriel Sara went to you know who. So the Voldemort of team names. So the ones who will not be spoken of. So it's an interesting one. If Leeds were to go out and get Gabriel Sara, he's had a really good season at Galatasaray. He's unbelievable at Norwich. Is he a Premier League player? Absolutely. Absolutely. Very much in the mould of Plaqueta for me at West Ham. Maybe a little bit more bullish, a little bit more physical and combative, maybe. But yeah, very much of the Plaqueta mould. I think in the midfield he can play anywhere. Genuinely think he can play anywhere. I think if you asked him, he could play out wide, to be honest with you. So I'd be very happy with the Sara signing, but it brings up more questions. It would probably be around 30 million quid. Sky Sports have said Leeds are willing to spend 30 million quid on a midfielder, which kind of correlates the transfer news and Leeds United's aim when it comes to buying one in, maybe to compete with Ampadu and Tanaka. One would make sense, two would be definitely competition, but it depends what they're doing with Gruev. Obviously we've seen Josh Gilavogui leave as well. I think I'd love this one, but it would be so controversial. But what would you guys do? You're picking up effectively, in my opinion anyway, Galatasaray's star man. Would you go out and do that, or would that be too controversial? You're putting money in their coffers. Would you want to do that if you're Leeds United? Would you even want to get into negotiation with them? I mean, that is another conversation. Should Leeds ever do business with them? Especially with the club statement, of which Leeds didn't have to make when it came down to Ethan Ampadu. I was really surprised they did that. As I mentioned the other day, I think the club statement relating to Ethan Ampadu's daughter wearing their shirt, you know, I'm not going to be speculative of what was going on there in terms of their relationship and his daughter wearing that. I don't really know. Don't think anybody knows, but the club making a statement about it, they sort of know the severity around the captain and being related to that incident. So would Leeds do business with that club, even if it was a player who Leeds desperately wanted? You know, can you be in negotiation with that club? Or if it's an excellent player, do you just go and nab the best player, give them the money, and then you benefit from it wholeheartedly in the Premier League? And you might keep Leeds United in the Premier League with how good he is in midfield. So it's weird, isn't it? It's a weird sort of argument. But what would you guys do? Let me know in the comment section below. But I've got a bit of a feeling Bijol might be the first. Just a hunch. Bijol might be the first, but it's so interesting that as of last season, Leeds' interest in Gabriel Sara was cemented. We all knew that before he left Norwich. It feels like Leeds always do have these shortlisted players. So would they go back in again for him? You know, what do you guys think? Do you think it'd make a lot of sense? Would you want to do it, or does it sort of, is it worth it when it comes to the controversy, which it definitely will cause? We're all very, very aware of that. But Jaka, in terms of Gabriel Sara, but Jaka Bijol looks like a really decent talent. Maybe I need to just move on from my little project in Umar Saleh. I don't think that's going to happen. But we will be doing my dream window as well, everybody. That's going to be a video I'm going to do in the next couple of days, which will compartmentalise even more signings as well, so of which I would go for. So let me know in the comment section below what you think of Jaka. Let me know what you think in the comment section below as well to Gabriel Sara, and if you would negotiate with said club. Guys, let me know what you think. Let me know some transfer targets as well that you'd be thinking of. We've got another thing added to the rumour mill videos every single morning as well, in terms of a widget, which is pretty cool, so join us there. It's been a pleasure. Like, comment and subscribe. We'll be back to the full programme tomorrow. See you in a bit.